What is up, guys? It is Deity, and welcome to part 6 of the guide. So, I had a couple of things I wanted you to do before the end of last episode, or before we start this episode. Is going to be the first thing is get your account to rank 60. So you look up in the upper left-hand corner, my account is rank 61. Those of you guys that didn't follow the instructions and are curious how to get your account up faster, it's all dependent upon the stamina you spend. So, what I did to achieve this is I, again, went to the Book of Memories, Eulogy for a Saint, and I just continually farmed the same stage while raising friendship on my characters and using free spirit tier to clear stages. So you can farm any of these stages through 7, 3, 8, 3, 9, through 10. Any of them is fine. Do not close Eulogy for a Saint. As you see, I do not progress past these missions. You can, but just make sure at this main part, never hit complete story. There's a little button that pops up once you're done with it. Once you hit that, Eulogy for a Saint is gone forever. Now, if you have cleared that, you can farm General Wyvern. Anything you're doing to spend stamina is going to be progressing your account level. So you can also go and just do episode catalyst stages. This is perfectly fine too. You are going to need some catalysts. The stage I farm for this is going to be not here. It is going to be here, part 6 of Heir of the Covenant, and the stage is called Rampage. So this is going to be one of the fastest stages you complete, meaning you get energy burnt faster, allowing you to level up your account quick. So this may take you a while. If you're not to that part, that is one of the check marks to get to. The next check mark is I wanted you to get to Champion Arena, Gold Arena. With Gold Arena, at the end of each week, any rank of arena you're in, you always want to take Skystones from this. So this is something I think I touched on in the guide, but either way, end of every week, there's a weekly reset. You'll get Skystones depending upon your rank. The higher rank you are, the better. The more you're going to get every single week. So make sure you claim always Skystones from this. The reason for that is because you will refresh these Skystones into the secret shop and you will get more bookmarks than what that would give to you. So those Mystic Metals, yes, Mystic Metals are nice. But by taking the Skystones, you can refresh in here and you can get Covenant bookmarks and Mystic Metals at the trade-off of gold. Okay, so there's already one regular summon, but you can get Mystic Metals within here too. It's usually around 3 point something per 1,000, so 150 total bookmarks of Mystics, and then for Covenants, it's like 1.3 per 100 or something. So you get a lot more currency from shop refreshing your Skystones versus straight spending them into whatever. Okay, so the reason we were getting to gold in Arena, though, was to finish up our Moonlight Blessing. Some of you guys want to hold on and not finish this up. Use Spectre Cebria and switch her over to Arbiter Vildred. Again, you get one free reset on your Moonlight Blessing. You can do that, but I'm going to go ahead and finish up my Spectre Cebria to get into the next portion of the guide, which is going to be utilizing the Moonlight Blessing 2. I'm going to go over the characters, talk about what's best, the reason I take it, whatever. We're going to cover that all very quickly. So once you have finished that, the next thing you need to make sure you have done is you go to Side Story and Moonlight Theater. You need to watch every single episode of Fallen Land. In order to do this, you need to click up here on the ticket icon and buy tickets until you have enough. Every stage takes one ticket to watch. It will cost you about 15 million gold. Now with gold, as you see, I have a ton of gold. And if we go into your inventory, we have a ton of stigma. So you can take these stigma that you get, go to your inventory, trade it in for penguins. As you see, I have 400,000 stigma. But in order to get extra gold, you trade it in for penguins in the sanctuary and go to growth ingredients, and then you can arrange and sell your penguins. So this will give you a ton of gold for trading in your stigma. That's how you farm gold in this game. So right there's a million stigma, and that's just leftover random penguins I had on the account. You get a ton of gold for doing this. If I took that 400,000, traded it into all penguins, and then sold it, it would be, was that 50 million? Like 50 million gold, somewhere around there. It's a lot of gold. So that is how you farm gold in the game. That is how you'll buy these tickets. And yes, it is 1000% worth doing this early and spending the gold, because you can only watch one episode a week, meaning this would take you half a year to get your Moonlight Blessing to open and to where you can select a character. So once all that is done, though, at the bottom of the screen, you will have a new Moonlight Blessing icon. You can go ahead and click this, and that is going to take you to Moonlight Blessing 2. It will have a list of 7 characters, I believe. So with this list, Death Dealer Ray is the number 1 pick. He is only usable in PvP, but that includes Guild War Arena. He's the hard carry in Arena to get your account up to champion or challenger to champion. He helps a ton for that. He is one of the strongest PvP characters in the game. He puts the entire enemy board to sleep, as well as giving Pestilence to your team, which inflicts Venom, which takes away their permanent max HP. There is no cleanse for Venom in the game. Once your HP is injured, it's called injury damage, you cannot heal it. He has been the number 1 pick for like 2 years now. I used to suggest Mediator Cowrick, but Death Dealer Ray is by far number 1 pick. Even though he has no PV use case, he will give you the character needed or help you build team comps to raise your PvP level. I know some of you aren't interested in PvP, but trust me, he is by far the best option you take. Next, second best pick, I would say is probably Sylvan Sage Vivian. There is this list of 3 characters here. Sylvan Sage Vivian cannot be debuffed if she has more than 3 focus, which allows you to take her into debuff style compositions that your opponent has. And she does have some PvE use case in Hall of Trials. She does get used pretty consistently there. Solid damage dealer, just got buffed recently as of making this guide series. Probably going to be my second pick. But next up, you have Conqueror Lilius Meteor Cock. Conqueror Lilius is an opening character that dual attacks on her skill 1 provokes, so she locks down an opponent to where, with the redirected provoke, it targets you. Okay, so with the redirected provoke, you place it on an enemy, and that enemy will guaranteed attack the character on your board with the highest HP. So it allows you to manipulate your opponent's board, as well as the skill 3 is going to put a decreased attack on the entire enemy team, as well as give yourself vigor buff, which is attack and defense increased by 30%. It's actually really big. So this used to be one of the best characters you could take, but the problem is she has lower base speed than a lot of the current openers in the game, meaning she's fallen off. You would always go and try to take one of the other openers if you were going to try to play higher momentum like that. So she just doesn't compare to the new Moonlight 5s. So I do not suggest taking her. If you do, she is a decent character. You can put your fastest speed gear on and utilize her as an opener. But again, don't think she's great. And also for PvE, with the vigor buff and the dual attack, she does have some value because skill 1 will pull a random character for a dual attack. But it's not good enough to try to take her versus the power that Death Dealer Ray has. Next up, Meteor Coward. He's a solid character for both PvE and PvP. He gives one of the best cleanses in the game. He gives attack buff and immunity to your team. Those are really good debuffs. He does solid damage even when he's not built on damage. And he puts a decreased attack on the enemy, as well as providing barrier to your team. So he's just one of the overall just best general supports you could possibly get for any kind of content. But he doesn't have the easiest place to use anymore. They're just other characters that take his roles. He does a bunch of different things. They're characters that do each individual role he has, but better. So you can try to utilize those characters instead. But overall, the other 3 characters are not great. Asherman's Elena desperately needs a buff. Commander Pavel has fallen off big time. The only place really to use him is for speed farming, going through adventure faster. If you ever see my main account, I do utilize Commander Pavel for farming purposes. And then Remnant Violet is too inconsistent of a character. He does insane damage, but his entire kit is revolving around his evasion chance. If he gets hit by a single attack, he is going to end up pretty just dying. He needs some kind of immortality or something to keep himself alive to get full value out of him. So that is my opinion of these characters. It is by far easily Death Dealer Ray is the strongest thing you can take from this. So I am going to go ahead, select Death Dealer Ray, and it will start counting my missions toward him. So once you take this, you need to level 6 or 4 characters to level 60. You have to reach Challenger 5 in Arena, but we will be using Death Dealer Ray to reach the Challenger 5 in Arena. And then next up, we have to receive rewards from Expedition 50 times. We will be making Expedition teams in the next episode of the guide series for every single Expedition. There's a character we unlock at the end of this guide episode that will completely set up almost all of our PvE teams. She's a free 3-star. We'll all get her. Absolutely amazing. Her name is Camila. And then the last part of this is going to be clear episode 4. So episode 4 will be 3 or 4 episodes from now is when we'll fully finish it. And I'll give you guys the one-shot team to beat that stage. Now that we have gotten all that, that's how we wanted to start today, is get all those certain missions done and then get our Moonlight Blessing 2 started. Again, if you guys hold on to Moonlight Blessing 1 because you want to trade Spectre Seabird to Arbiter Vildred in the future, you can do so. But whenever you come into the Moonlight Blessing, just know all the progress you make right now on missions won't count toward that. You'll have to start it and do everything over again. Okay, so that is the beginning of this episode. Now we're going to start tackling the Orbis Guide missions again. The point we left off last time was we needed to donate 50,000 gold to our guild, as well as clearing story and just the general missions. But the biggest thing we needed to worry about was eliminate area boss in Royal Capital Azmakalis. That's what we're going to do first. You have to be account rank 60 in order to do this mission. So we're going to go in. We're just going to take our basic story team, go down to Royal Azmakalis, or Azmakalis, whatever. I don't know how to say it. I've said it wrong for 7 years now. You're just going to take your general story team, go in, and our goal is to beat the upper left side boss. So we're going to go take a left right away, and we're going to go up to this boss up in the upper left-hand corner. Just auto it. It'll beat it. If you need to and want to, you can use Arky, the Guardian, to help you beat it. But otherwise, it'll be straight simple. Your team is perfectly strong enough to beat this. So I'll meet you back here once you are done beating whatever that boss is. There is a harder version of this Labyrinth. So this is the easy mode, and then there's the hell version mode. That is the mode you'll farm every month. You can get some great gear out of it. I'll try to make sure I either touch on that or give you the videos of other creators made that I think are good that you can watch to set up all your teams for that. So that's usually where I stop the guide, is I don't make teams for this. But this year we'll see. We'll see if I end up fully going through and finishing this, or if somebody else made something, and I would rather you guys see the other content creators in Epic 7 versus just only utilizing my information, because differing opinions can help a lot with making decisions for yourself. Only listening to me going through the game, highly advise getting multiple inputs on anything. Okay, I'm rambling. I will let this finish, and I will meet you all back here once you are done beating this boss. Okay, so once you have beaten the boss, one thing is if you struggled at all, I didn't mention under my face cam, there is a button. It is a camping thing. So I don't know if I can move out of the way so you can see it, but it is down here. You can click that and camp and raise your morale. I don't know if I've talked about that throughout the guide series so far, but just pick any of the dialogues that the characters have that have an up arrow next to it, and it is going to give you 15 average per character or per one you do, so you can raise yourself 30 morale. So if you're down at minus 27 or whatever, it'll boost you all the way back up to the basic +5, which will allow you to beat the boss. So any of you that had trouble, go ahead after you fight the boss, or if you lose, just click retry. It's a free restart. You get one that doesn't cost any Skystones, and then you go back, do the camping, and go back and fight them. So once you are done, though, you're going to click on the upper right hand corner and go back to the main teleporter. You have to leave through this teleporter. Click there, click stop exploring, and it's going to count as completed. So now that we have cleared a boss for that, it's going to give us this mission complete, as well as give us a Moonlight summon, which is exciting, maybe, for a free 3-star. Okay, so we're going to go and grab this. Now, do not spin this Frosty Ice connection. Okay, this Frosty Ice connection, luckily I saved an extra one, but do not spend this yet, because next batch of missions, we're going to have summon a 4 to 5-star ice element. That is going to be utilizing that ticket. I believe you have to use a 4 to 5-star ticket on here. It is worded terribly, because based off this, you could just do regular summons. If you get a 4 or 5-star blue character, it would count, correct? But I do not know how this exactly works, so the safest thing you can do is save that ticket. Hopefully you guys didn't spend it. There are ways you can get more. You can buy one from your guild per month, I believe. So if you did spend it, you can go into your guild shop over here, and then you can go to the member shop and you can buy one from here. So scroll down and it will be right there. You can buy 5. It does cost 500, but it is worth spending that if you did make that mistake of spending that early. So that's the other way you can complete that. But with those 2 missions done, we have the last 3 batches here. So we can click in. This is going to give us the extra currency. You take that to the shop and spend it. But the last thing it wants us to do for Path of Air is enhance equipment 5 times and reforge a piece of gear. So you just click go, take one of the pieces of gear that you've gotten that maybe you've already been working on. You can check out your other characters. Here's a piece that came from the arena shop. I'm just going to boost it +3 and lock it. This is a very good piece to have. It rolled terrible, 5 minimum. It's a minimum roll on a T88 piece, so that's awful. But that finishes that mission, and next up we need to reforge 1 piece of gear. So we did do the Banshee missions. My inventory is a little bit of a mess, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. I'll just sell all the pieces for speed's sake. Let's go ahead and do that. And then now from here, we can go out and reforge 1 piece of gear. So we're going to go to our hero list, check out which piece of gear would help us the most. So we're going to check out our core story team. Spectre Zebra is the main thing. So we'll take whichever left side piece. As you see, the right side pieces are fine. And we can check out Terry as well. I believe so we could reforge this ring here. This is probably going to be the best. Or you can go to Spectre Zebra or RB, whoever has the highest gear score left side piece, reforge that. So this is a 90. This is actually really good. Reforge is 102. That's a fantastic piece of gear. But right side gear is always highest priority. It's going to give you the most value. So I'm going to click this, click reforge. If you don't have reforge materials, if you've been watching the guide, I'll go back over it, but there is a place in your inventory where you've gotten some boxes. You can trade in for reforge materials of the type you need. I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'll show you the box location. So click your inventory up here, go over to your boxes down here, and then you will have these right here, these reforge material selection chest. Go ahead, if you're reforging a Banshee piece, you can go ahead, one of the section pieces, you can take this is Banshee reforge, this is Wyvern reforge, and then Katie's reforge. So if you want to upgrade one of your penetration set pieces, you can do Katie's. So it's going to be correlating with the boss that drops that type of gear. You'll get used to this. It's very simple once you're farming each different type, which we will be to the point of having all of our teams in the next part of the guide. So now that all of that is done, the last mission for this batch is we got to push through some story. We've got to push through all of chapter 3 today to get to the point where we unlock the ability to get our Camila, which is at episode 3, chapter 9. There's 10 chapters. It's going to take a while to slog through this. The problem with chapter 3 and 4 is there's really no fast way to beat it. It's just going to take you some time. So go ahead into the Orbis guide, go to this, and we are at episode 3, chapter 6. It's actually not as far as I was thinking, but just go in. We're technically at chapter 5, but go beat all of these stages. If you ever have trouble with one of the stages with your general story clearing team, you can switch your Brig out for Raz. If it's a grass boss, sometimes that will help tremendously. This fight right here, Alencia, can be very annoying. So you can try it with this team. Otherwise, go switch your Brig out, or you can manual it, use your Archies. So the Guardian here, whenever you have souls, you can utilize that. And lastly, if you want to try out a different character on your account, this is a fantastic time. With the current state of chapter 3 and chapter 4, the enemies do way more damage. Your Tyria struggles to survive. She's a 4-star character that doesn't have HP scaling damage or anything, meaning she's squishy. So if you would like to try somebody else, Immortal Wukong could potentially be usable within this of the characters I have. Otherwise, I could use Charles if I wanted. He would be fun. But I don't really have any other characters that I would use. But those of you guys that got somebody that you think is cool, you can build them up and try them. This is a great chance to potentially try a character that maybe you've heard is good or that you just like and see if you can utilize them. These 3 characters here will pretty much beat the whole story. And if you start struggling a little bit from the episode 1 selector, we got Destina. So placing Destina in here gives you the safest team possible for going through chapter 3 and chapter 4. And it also gives you your grass unit. But any character you want to try out, just do it. Go ahead. This is, again, one of the best times to try and see if one of the characters you want to utilize will actually work. So go ahead, take whatever you pick. I'm going to continue using Tyria, and I will let you guys know how big of a struggle that is going through. But I'm going to go beat as much of the story as I can to complete that next part of mission, and I'll meet you guys back here once you are done with chapter 6, whatever mission it was. You'll know whenever you finish it. It'll have a screen pop up, but I'll meet you back here in a second. Okay, so once you have beaten the portion where we needed to clear the story, we're going to go to Path of Air. I actually went a bit ahead so I can make the rest of this a lot smoother for the recording, but you can claim this beating chapter 6, get that, and then we're also going to get here a 5-star summon hero and a 5-star artifact. See what we get. We got a Pavel. Both of the things I got were not very good. Hopefully you guys get something better than I did. Pavel is pretty unusable in the current state of the game. But now getting to the next portion, we have to collect 500,000 points on Hall of Trials. If you just take your story team to Hall of Trials and do the easy mode version of that, you will be able to achieve that level of points. So you probably will already have finished it, but go ahead and click receive. If not, you need to go to Hall of Trials, just slap your story team in, and you'll be good to go. Next up, we need to enhance artifact 3 times, summon a 4 to 5-star ice elemental hero. Again, I told you guys to save that bookmark. I'll show you a couple places you can go if you did mess this up. I actually have multiple. I've been holding on to all my elemental bookmarks for right now, but I'm going to go ahead and rip this. It will finish that mission, and then I'll go show you guys. We got 5-star, very nice, but that's a summon a 4 to 5-star ice element. I think it means ice element bookmark. I believe I got Kisei. I got Kisei. So there we go. That one is done. But if you did spend your bookmarks, one of the places you can go to get these bookmarks is going to be go to your guild. I think I showed this a second ago, but I'll show it again just in case you guys are like skipping through the videos. Go down to your member shop, and then when you scroll down here, you're going to have the ability to, I'm going to buy the Mologora, but you are going to be able to buy 5 of them from here 1 time a month, okay? If you've already done this and you've already summoned the other one, good luck in trying to figure out how to get another Ice Covenant summon. It's a it's a very annoying mission. You can check your events tab. So in the current events, while I'm recording this, there is one I believe you can get in here. Within week 1, you can buy some from this carrot event, and hopefully there's an event going on in case you guys super mess up, but that's only going to affect like 0.01% of you if you're following along with my guide. If you do run into this, you might be stuck for a little bit. Just be aware of that. Hopefully they'll readjust these missions maybe in the future if you're watching this, but as of the recording of this, that's the ways to go and get some of the bookmarks. Now, there are also other challenges you could do going through the episodes and things like that. You can go find some extra ones. If I do find some easily accessible extra elemental bookmarks, I'll let you know, but that's the main ways to get past it right here. So now I'm going to come into here. We have to clear floor 70 in Abyss and upgrade artifact 3 times. So I'm going to go ahead to my artifacts. whichever artifact. Again, this one doesn't matter in terms of what you upgrade. I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade my Wondrous Potion Vial. So Wondrous Potion Vial I have at plus 12, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 3 small charms into it. I want to get it to plus 15, but I don't want to overstack the experience. I did get a good success, which gave extra experience there, so I was able to prevent myself from wasting a ton by feeding the bigger charms into it. So now going in here, we can claim this, and I need to go beat to floor 70 of Abyss. I want you guys to go do that as well. Once we're done with that, we're going to get some more charms, as well as some already upgraded gear, which we will be able to utilize to build up some of our PvP characters. So go ahead, go into Abyss, use your general story clearing team, and you should have no issues with these next couple of stages. This is the general team that I've been using so far. Where I'm at right now in story, we are going to ideally switch out our Free Spirits area for some kind of other character. I'm going to use Destina because it's just going to be the simplest switch that we all should have if you took Destina from the first selector. If you did not take Destina, you can switch out for any other cool character that you've gotten. It just needs to be a character that's more bulky, because without the bulk, you are just getting cooked on your damage dealers are dying and you don't have a reviver on your team. Whereas whenever I switch Tyria for Destina, it will be slow, but I will have a reviver within the Destina, as well as every other role covered in that I could possibly have for the team. But go ahead, finish up these couple of floors, and I'll meet you guys back here once you have beaten floor 70 of Abyss. Okay, I wanted to touch on this floor. Whenever you get here, it's going to be floor 67. This floor is a little bit annoying. As you see, my damage dealers are dead. The boss has a reflect damage mechanic that whenever you do a lot of damage to him, he's going to come back and deal that damage to whoever attacked it. So my damage dealers blew themselves up. But with this, you are going to just utilize your Tamarin and your Brieg, and every time you have Archies, you are going to use them. So when you see here, I use Archie, and it's going to do 30,000 damage to the boss. And then from here, you just start attacking again. And the thing is, your support characters don't do enough damage in their hits to make themselves die, essentially. So you will never die in this fight as long as your characters are built the way that they are in the guide. You're going to have Tamarin healing you constantly, as well as Brieg constantly using different skills to set himself up for getting as many souls as possible. Every time you use skills, you're going to get souls down at the bottom. As you see here, we use the skill 3, and we gain multiple souls. Now we're going to use Tamarin, we're going to get souls for this, and we're going to push our team up, but we're just going to keep doing this until we get enough Archies to beat it. It may end up taking you a little bit. There are ways to beat it, bringing your damage dealers. You could utilize a character like Destina to revive yourself. That helps as well, but just your general clearing team will end up beating this. So I just need to use, it looks like 3 Archies, so I'm going to go ahead and hit auto, and then keep watching it, and whenever I have an Archie, I'll hit the Archie. It's a very dumb stage, but just so you guys know, and you see your damage dealers die, you're like, crap, I need to restart. You don't need to restart. You'll be fine. Just let it keep going. Just set it to auto. A lot of people, you'll just set it to auto, and it'll be done by the time you come back. The Archie just speeds it up a tiny bit. So as you see here, we have another Archie. I'm going to go ahead and click it. And then now he should almost be dead, and we just have to wait for one more rotation. Yep. So we'll wait for one more rotation, and we'll be good to go. So I'll meet you guys back here once you're done with floor 75. There's no other like weird floors up until that point. Okay, so once you have gotten to the floor 70 and cleared it, you will be done with this batch of missions. So we're going to go in, claim our stuff, and then the next batch of missions are, I believe, pretty easy as well, but you're also going to get the 10 summons as well as the extra charms. So you should have a huge stockpile of charms within your account now. We are going to do a crafting session. I've already done one. There is a live stream up for it. You can see the crafting session on the other account that is similar to this one. And then from there, I'll try to put a link to the description. But we're going to do an extra I still haven't got a Moonlight 5 off all the covenants I've done. It is so insane. Between 2 accounts and a single ML5 off covenant summons through the event so far is crazy to me. All right, but wherever I was, the crafting session, it's going to be an extra episode of the guide. I do already have a crafting video. I highly suggest going and following that crafting video, but you don't have to craft right now. That's just something extra that you'll do. The more charms you get before your first crafting session, the better off you're going to be. But now that we've claimed that portion of the Path of Air, we're going to go in, and then you'll have to get 7 Heroes Awakened to 6-star. That's something that you should already have done. If not, go out. I can go through my characters real quick. We have to reforge a piece of gear, clear a Spirit Altar, enhance hero skill 3 times. So I'm going to go through my inventory, show the characters. We're going to reforge 1 piece of gear real quick. But we have our Sermia, our Raz, Tamarin, Sigret, Brieg, our Angelica's in Grace of Growth. You can take her out at any time that you want to. Our Vivian is is 7-star awaken or 6-star awaken, free spiriteria, and spectre secret. So those are all our general awakened characters. Now from here, I want us to reforge a piece of gear. You can go to your Spectre Shieber RB and just take whichever has the highest equipment score and reforge that. So this one has 90. I'm going to go ahead. I need Twilight, Twilight Banshee reforge materials, what I call them. So we're going to go into our inventory. I have no idea what I just clicked, but we're going to go in here. We're going to go down to our boxes and we're going to use one of our reforge selection chests, use it, and we're going to grab one piece for our Spectre Stevie upgrade. Now we're going to go back into our hero inventory. I did 6-star Destina, by the way. I am going to be utilizing her in our story clearing team, just so that I have a safe team that I don't have to worry about building something else for, because I don't really have anything on this account that I want to build for additional story. But this piece, anything above 95 after reforge is very solid for a new player. Anything above 100 is insanely good for an old in-game player, so this is a fantastic piece of gear. But now that is done, we can go in. We need to get 3 hero skill ups. So I am going to try to skill up my Spectre Stebria. She is already pretty much max skill upped, but I'm going to go ahead and use my Catalyst selection chest. I'm going to upgrade her skill 2. So the skill 2, I'm also going to do the skill 1 by 1 because that's 15% extra damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. So there's my 3 skill ups. You can skill up whichever character you want, but Spectre Stebria is a hard carry for our story clearing. So that is now done. Go back to the Orbis guide. And then what I'm going to go ahead and Spirit Altar on hard difficulty. I'm going to do Dark Spirit Altar because we are going to be working on our Lorena. So the more we can get for Lorena, the better. So I'm just going to run a quick 10 battle. And then from here, we're just going to complete more of the story. As you see, I worked a little ahead, so my story already shows cleared. But after you get your 10 Spirit Altars and have done everything else I showed, go and push a little bit further into the story until you have that portion completed. But again, I sat and I just let the story run so that it will make it to where I can just sit and record all of the guide portions at the same time. I don't have to like stop, go do story like I was doing before, because that made this take a lot longer, to say the least. So now I'm going to go ahead and claim all this. But what I want you to do, go beat episode 3, chapter 7. Once you've beaten the stage missing from that, meet me back here and we'll continue pushing through these missions. Our goal is to get to 3-9 today. Okay, so now that you have completed the chapter story, you can come in here, grab your rewards from the Path of Air, and then we're going to be at a port where we need to beat Hunt on hard difficulty 10 times or higher, clear expedition 3 times, craft equipment 10 times, sell equipment 5 times, and then collect 1,000,000 points of Hall of Trials. So we're going to start with the crafting equipment. Again, every time for these missions, I'm just going to go straight to the boots. Boots are the easiest thing to follow along with. If it doesn't have speed and it's blue or purple or below, you will just get rid of it with Wyvern crafting. So every single one of these pieces, I will not keep. None of them have speed main stat. If it's a red piece of gear, if it has HP % or defense % or attack %, you can hold on to it until you get a better understanding of gear. But from here, this is very easy. I'm just going to go ahead and I need to sell the gear this time. I do extract almost all gear at the beginning of the game. Then you reach a point where you have a good stockpile of your conversion materials, and then you'll start selling. But for this, since we have to beat a mission, we're going to go ahead and sell that. That'll complete both of those at the same time. So these 2 are done. This is going to give us boxes. Don't worry about utilizing these boxes yet. You will get a ton of them. And the more you use at the same time, you will try to target specific pieces to finish a build, which we will utilize those later on. I'll show you the best use case for them. But now we need to clear expedition 3 times, and we need to clear Hunt on hard difficulty or higher. So with needing to clear Hunt on hard difficulty or higher, we're going to go in to our Wyvern team. Okay, our goal is to get our Wyvern team back set up. We already have Breed good to go, and then we're going to go down, and our 3 Wyvern damage characters are Sigret, which with Sigret now we need to go put Daydream Joker back on our Sigret. And then you could do Banshee if you want. You could just run Banshee with the general story clearing team, and it will beat it almost every time. But I'm going to go ahead and put whatever gear I still have leveled up that isn't on anybody else. You guys should all have the exact same gear as me. This gear dropped from doing the Orbis missions, so you're going to have multiple options here. I'm going to go ahead and take the higher effectiveness pieces, and then for the boots, I'm just going to take these attack boots, and then we're going to go to pen set because that's the other free upgraded gear that we just got, and now we have a cigarette boosted up that we can use for Wyvern. Then from here, we're going to go check on our Mui and our Furious. Make sure your cigarette is on Daydream Joker, and then go down here And now Furious, he's still exactly how we had him before. Don't need to really level up his gear. It will perform without leveling it up. The biggest thing is make sure he has 65 effectiveness or as close to as possible. If it's a little bit lower, you'll fail occasionally more often, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have 65 effectiveness. Then Mui, our goal again is 65 effectiveness. I do need to put a chest on him. So let's go see what kind of destruction set chest we have. Here's one that's already leveled up, and I'm going to go throw that on him. And our goal is to get him on a Daydream Joker as well. So we're going to end up having 3 overall Daydream Jokers. As you see here, I sold one on purpose. So those of you guys that accidentally sold your Daydream Jokers, try to lock 3 different versions of them so that you do not run into the scenario. But I saw so many comments of I only have 1 Daydream Joker or 2. Ideally, make sure you have 2. The problem is now I'm going to have to switch this off my Spectre Tenebria to beat this, and then once I beat it, I have to switch it back. So what it does is just creates an annoyance on your account. But going from here, I'm going to go in and do the quick battle 10 for Wyvern, see how many we're able to complete with this team now. So we're going to go to Hunt Hell, and it does say you only have to beat it on hard, but I highly suggest doing Hell always because you're going to get better rewards for it. And try to never farm just hard version of any kind of the hunt stages, because as you see there, that just dropped 4 reforged materials. If you farm the difficulty below this, it drops 2. So you get double the amount of reforged materials, and also Hunt Hell cannot drop any gear lower than 85, which is amazing. You will not get that T70 gear, meaning it's always going to be a higher, it's going to have a higher potential chance of being a decent piece of gear whenever you're farming the higher difficulty. So it was able to beat it all 10 times. With that, no issues whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and sell or extract whatever pieces come in here. I just sold that. It's fine. You're going to get so many pieces of gear, you won't even think about it here in the near future. So I'm going to claim this, and now we need to do Expedition 3 times. With the Expedition 3 times, we're just going to do level 1s for this one. It just doesn't matter a whole lot with this. I'm just going to do level 1 fire, and then my Expedition team for level 1 fire. I can just go ahead and put Brieg, Tamarin, and any other 2 characters on here. So Brieg, Tamarin. I'll go ahead and put Sigret, and I'll just put, I guess, Tieria, because my Spectene's artifact is off of her. But this team will work. I'm going to go beat this, and then when I come back, I will show the open recruitment thing again that I showed in the previous video when we did this. But I'm going to turn Sigret skills on. I just beat Wyvern, by the way, 10 times in a row with Sigret skills off. That's actually really funny. But okay, I will be back in just a second. Okay, so once you have beaten this, if you didn't get enough points, you have to get 500,000 to clear level 1 or 550,000, something like that. But if you do not fully clear it, you can then go into your in progress, click on it, and then select open recruitment. Now, once you have cleared the level 1 difficulty of this, you do have the ability to join currently already active missions. Okay, you can go in here, click refresh, see if there's any active ones. If there's not, you can utilize one of your own again, or if you can join one that's already going, it'll make it way faster. But go ahead and beat 3 of these and get them set up to where you either have them open recruitment or they're fully cleared. And then once we're done with this, the Hall of Trials mission is going to be a little bit tricky because the Hall of Trials will be different for every single person that comes in. What we're probably going to end up doing is just utilizing 3 damage dealers plus our front tank, and that should get you 1,000,000 points in almost any of the different difficulties. 1,000,000 points is relatively easy, but I will go try it, see if I have any issues. If you do run into Hall of Trials issues, there is a content creator named Tristan Wolf. Tristan Wolf is going to have guides for Hall of Trials that you can maybe go switch out 1 or 2 characters, move some gear around, and beat that. But that may be a stopping point for some of you depending on the week that you are doing this. Just be aware of that. But I cannot with the guide. It changes. Okay, it changes every 2 weeks. There's nothing I can do to make sure we all have the exact same consistent team that will work every time. It's just going to be taking your 4 strongest characters and smacking into it and seeing if you can beat it. So we'll go try that after we finish up all 3 of these, but I'll meet you back here to show you myself going in and trying it out. Okay, once you have cleared your 3 expeditions, I went and did 1 light one. I want to talk about expeditions for a second real quick. This is a monthly content that resets. You have an expedition depot, and at the end of each month, these rewards become available again. Whenever you're going through, you can get quite a few charms, and you get reforged materials. This is a very good thing to try to keep up with. A lot of players do not, but if you can get into a habit of making sure you clear all the way to the end of this by the end of the month, the rewards are great for doing so, and they're free, because as long as you're getting your own entries, you can enter them without spending any stamina. Most of the time you'll have to spend stamina to finish it, but if you stay on top of all your stuff as you're doing hunts, go and use your posters, do your entry, and then invite others, it can be a free way to get all of these resources, which again, most people don't keep up with properly and end up spending stamina for. Now, there is the premium supply pass. The rewards are worth it. The premium supply pass is good value, but do not buy it. Okay, it costs 1,500 Skystones, and if you're a free-to-play player especially, that is too many Skystones, and it's a monthly thing. You'd have to spend that every single month. This is not just a buy-it-one-time thing. Every month that resets, I do not suggest ever buying it unless you are a heavy spender within the game. But now that we have completed those 3, we can go out and claim this, and the last mission it wants us to do is collect 1,000,000 points in Hollow Trials. Okay, this is where some of you guys will get stuck a little bit and have to experiment. You can read all the mechanics of the Hollow Trial boss within here. In normal mode, it is going to be a lot easier to achieve that. There is a challenge mode version. Once you get further into your account, you'll go here and you can end up getting an insane amount of points per entry. So if we go to the ranking, you can see the top person has 43 million points. It is a challenge type content to where you're competing against other people in a PvE. I do not personally like this content whatsoever, but there is a rank reward. If you clear, or if you get high rank, you're going to get more of these resources, which allow you to buy exclusive equipments for Moonlight 5 characters. There are certain Moonlight 5 characters that have exclusive equipments, part of their balancing within the game, and these pieces can be extremely good. But now I'm going to go back to the normal difficulty, if I can. Yep, so here we go. Normal difficulty of HU Fiend. I'm just going to go in, and whether your boss is different, your goal is to just take your strongest characters into this. So I'm going to take Tamarin. Spectre Tiber doesn't have an artifact on, so I'm going to go place an artifact. Daydream Joker does not work in this, so if you have a different artifact, you can switch it out and use that instead. I am just going to put on Daydream Joker so it's consistent. And then for the other character, Free Spirit Tier, I'm just going to go with this and see what it scores, and then come back and let you guys know what I'd adjust to the best of my ability. Sometimes having a healer doesn't really help you to get that 1,000,000 damage. So sometimes maybe you go throw gear on Vivian. You could throw in your cigarette and try to achieve extra damage with that. There are multiple things you can go in and try with the characters we have built. Your Sirmia, you can go throw your cigarettes gear on Sirmia. That may end up helping you, but try to read the mechanics, do what you can in terms of the mechanics. You can go in, believe, I guess, when you're fighting the boss. It doesn't. I'm looking dumb right now. There it is. I was about to say, where did they move it? This is a new UI compared to what it used to be. So it has placing warrior hero in the back. So if you have the ability to place a warrior hero in the back, you're going to free Spiriteria, or you could switch out and do your Sirmia as or Cigarette, whichever one, in the back of your team. And it has debuff, nullify, removal. If you click these, you can read what all you have to do in order to achieve the highest score you can get. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'll let you guys know what score I get and what I had to adjust in order to get that 1,000,000 points. Okay, so I was able to get the 1,000,000 points total. One thing that you can change is potentially not bring a healer, bring additional damage dealer to try to get the points early. So say I bring Cigarette instead of my Tamarin or Sirmia, whichever character ends up being built, it's fine. But once you get to 1,000,000 points, you're good. Whenever you enter break phase, so normally you're not doing a whole lot of damage in any of the Hall of Trials, but once you get break phase, that's where your big damage comes in. And the more heavy hitting damage dealers you have within that phase, the better. This, as you see, this is very close. So, but that's with general story team, and there's nothing special going on with what I have. With slight adjustments, you will be able to beat it. Do some research and plan out your team. But those of you guys that are playing during the HU Fiend phase, you'll have a very similar experience. You'll be very close at the end there to full clearing it. So now that that is done, we have reached the 1,000,000 points. We can move on to the next portion, and we're getting 2 free pieces of gear fully upgraded. Now, if you have Arbiter, Villager, or Spectre Tiber, you can buy an exclusive equipment with them from here. I'm going to hold off on doing so. The exclusive equipments are very good on the ML5s, but I'm not going to bother at this point. Just in case you guys have RB or you picked a different Moonlight 5 character, you won't be any further behind. I don't want to get my team any extra strong compared to what yours could be, but we did get some more summons. I'm going to go ahead and rip them. Got a Moonlight 5. All right, we got a regular 5-star artifact, or yeah, 5-star artifact. That's something. I finally got a 5-star. It's Rand's artifact. I don't see myself using that on anything. And we do have enough to do one more Moonlight summon, so let me rip that real quick, just for entertainment purposes. So quick little deviation from the guide. Let's go in and slam the Moonlight. And can I get a 5-star? Ooh. Hey, we did get a 5-star. Finally, I got a Moonlight 5. Imperial Nav. Fallen Cecilia, she just got a buff. Okay, and that's fine with Renak meta coming. Actually, I don't know how much I'll play this account past that. We finally got a Moonlight 5. That's super cool. Fallen Cecilia finally getting a buff, and of course, that's who we get on that summon. So there we go. That is, hopefully you guys have had some luck to this point. If you haven't got lucky, you see how unlucky I've gotten up to that moment. But now we can go ahead and claim this. This is going to be some extra Hollow Trial rewards for getting that 1,000,000 points. And then we go back to our Path of Air missions. You're going to have a next batch, okay? You're going to have to where you need to clear to episode 3-8, enhance equipment 5 times, beat Abyss, and Arena 5 times. All these are pretty much go out of your way. Make sure you finish each one of these. Once you're done with them all, meet me back here. In terms of the Abyss, there's no floor between 70 and 75 that needs anything special. Just use your general story team. The big thing is you're using Spectre Cebria or whichever, make sure you put Daydream Joker back on whichever Moonlight 5 you're currently using. In terms of the reforging a piece of gear, I do have enough Wyvern materials to reforge any of this. So let me see. I'll go ahead and reforge. Let's just say this one of the right side pieces for Tamarin. Which one's better? They're both kind of bad. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter which one I reforge, but I'll just reforge one of these to get that done. And then I'm going to go do my Arena 5 times and beat up to floor 70 of Abyss. Once you're done with those, meet me back here, and I will have all of these finished, but you do need to push a little bit further in chapter. We're almost done for the today, and then we're going to start working on our getting our Camila unlocked. In terms of enhanced equipment 5 times, just any piece of gear, go in there and just put 5 little dust powders in, and you're good to go. But okay, I will meet you back here in just a second. We're almost done. Okay, so once you have beaten floor 75 at Abyss, you got more Skystones. One question some of you guys might be having at this point is, what do I use Skystones for? Your Skystones are almost all going to go toward refreshing Secret Shop. I've talked about this a couple times, but refreshing Secret Shop is going to be the ideal spot to use your Skystones. As you see, you will get Covenant bookmarks and you will get Mystic medals. So instead of buying Covenant bookmarks directly with this, you will trade gold plus Skystones to get way more summons. And that is how you get your Moonlight 5 characters, is just sitting in here. Every time you get a chance, you can spend a little bit of them within this. You want to try to always hold 12,000 Skystones. Okay, that is how much it costs to pity a character, just in case there's a character that you really want that comes into the game. Save 12,000 bookmarks, or 12,000 Skystones, and whatever bookmarks you have. Okay, sometimes we have back-to-back really good characters. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to pick one or the other in case you get really unlucky with summoning. But that is where most of your Skystones go toward. Otherwise, there are going to be epic passes. It's usually around once a month. It will cost 900 Skystones to get the pass. Those are always worth buying. But other than that, that is where almost all your Skystones will go, is just into shop refreshing. Now, you can also use your Skystones for energy. That same idea comes into play. If you want to use Skystones for energy, try not to go below 12,000 from the start of your account. As long as you follow this rule, your account will stay in a very good position resource-wise for a very, very long time. I know having currency in the game, you want to spend it, you want to try to make progress or whatever on your account with summoning characters. The thing with Epic 7 is summoning the characters is not the progress. Getting the gear for the characters that you want to summon on is the progress. So going in, you can see how many Moonlight 5s and other characters we currently have that we want to build up a lot of them. We have no gear for them yet, okay? So if I were to go and summon more, that just means I'm going to have more and more characters sitting here doing nothing. And that is where most people make the mistake on Epic 7 and they end up quitting the game because they don't have the resources to farm. Now, with using your Skystones for energy, just slam away. If there's a buff event going on, or if you're just motivated to play the game and want to farm, even if there is no buff event, you're fine. But as a new player, you're going to have 30 days of buffs. So might as well take advantage of this the most you can. So any Skystone you spend on stamina refreshing early game, as long as you don't go below 12,000, you're good to go. Now, we have finished floor 70 of Abyss. I want you to come in here, and I need to do these last couple of missions, but again, go clear episode 3, chapter 8, get to that, and then we need to enhance equipment. I'm going to go do these 2 things, and then we're going to meet back here for the next portion. The next portion, I believe, will be the last bit for this episode of the guide. So come back once you have finished all this, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, once you have finished those last couple of missions, 2 things I want to show off real quick. One is the battle pass. I have talked about this before, but let me go in and hit on it again. The battle pass, as long as you have time left, so we have 68 days left of this battle pass, you're able to earn so many battle pass points per week there is no reason to ever buy rank unless it is the end of the battle pass and you want to get the gear. So do not try to rush this and go spend a bunch of Skystones to finish it. You're just wasting your resources because you will attain all these rewards just from doing your basic arena. Now, also, with Arena, once you reach rank 60, you have unlocked the ability to do World Arena. Don't touch it yet. Do not touch this yet. You want to, if you're a little ahead of me in the guide and you want to mess around with it, that's fine. Your win rate does not matter. There are no rewards for doing this except the end of the season. You can get a skin, and that skin is usually for an ML5 if you're a new player that you won't have anyway, but there is a skin, and that's the only reward besides like frames and cosmetic stuff. So this is just a for fun game mode, but this is the main game mode in Epic 7. Once you have cleared all the PvE stuff, this is the only thing left to do, and this is what all in-game players farm and do all the work toward. Not all, but some people don't even touch live arena, but the majority of players who really enjoy this game, this is why they enjoy this game. There are preseason seasons and there are regular seasons. As of time of recording this, there's only 3 days left of this preseason. So as the seasons go, at the end of the season, you're going to get rewards depending on your rank. Now, one thing to check is whenever you come into here, check the E7 World Cup tab. So click Hall of Fame, go to E7 World Cup. There is a big tournament each year, and after the tournament, they give a ring out. These rings are very, very good with the potential to roll insane. I'm going to actually roll mine on here and see how it goes. But these rings, it's just a free piece of gear. Sometimes when you start, there won't be a ring available. But every single year, you can see you get all these different rings. Just go check it and continue to check this. If you're not playing RTA a lot and not keeping up with the game, you can get one really good piece of equipment potentially from this. So I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade it +3 at first. Win at HP. Your goal is to not hit HP on this. We already hit it, so I probably won't upgrade it too much more past where I already have. I'll go to +9. I was just going to see if we got like a 20. Oh, this is terrible. One more, just for fun. Your goal is to not hit HP. That's a really good roll, but the HP rolls already are like ruin the piece. It's still a great piece. You can use it on many different characters, but your goal is to try to avoid HP on it. Now, all of this is done. We can go into our Orbis guide and we can claim the rest of this. I wanted you to beat to the end of that and clear floor 75 of Abyss. Once all that's done, claim all your rewards here. And then you're going to get some extra charms, some extra account EXP, as well as 6 gold transmits. So we can go do another Moonlight. We did just get Fallen Cecilia. Now, this is the last batch of missions that I am worried about us completing today. The problem is there is a world boss mission here. If you do not have world boss available, you're gonna have to wait a day to do that. And then the next thing is I'll talk about clearing up to chapter 9 episode 9, and that'll be the end. So if you can get a little bit ahead, great, but there's one key thing that we need to make sure we have before the next part of the guide, which some of you may already have the character. That'd be fantastic. But let me go out of here. We're going to rip the summon. I keep taking little summon breaks. It's part of why these videos are so long. But it makes it fun. I mean, especially since I'm not getting anything, any of you guys that are getting shafted as well, you can see that it's not going to really affect your account. You'll go through waves of getting lucky and getting unlucky. And that's why you play the game. It's a 3-star. That's why you play the game, is for the times that you do get super lucky. All right, so 3-star Elson, horrendous character. Used to be really good at the beginning of the game, but isn't great now. So what I want you to do from here is go in and start clearing through these Path of Air missions, explore Labyrinth 1 time, enhance Artifact 3 times, do Draft Arena. Draft Arena, again, you just go in and leave. But the only challenging one is Convert Equipment 1 time. We're going to go do that real quick. So with Convert Equipment 1 time, you can see, click each one, see if you have any resources for them. So we have an attack percent piece, so I'm going to make an attack percent ring out of it. So I'm going to go to select, and I do not have enough charms for this, our conversion materials. So what I need to do is go to craft. I'm going to hit craft, and then I'm going to extract the gear. If you do not have any of those resources, you can use one of your blue boxes from inside your inventory. So from here, I'm just going to keep anything with speed on it. This is something you're going to have to watch the crafting guide if you want to fully understand crafting. Okay, if I try to touch on this, crafting is something that takes a very long time to teach or learn, especially for people who have not played a game similar to any kind of gear gacha in the past. But if you played a gear gacha, you kind of know what you're doing to an extent. That don't feel like any mistake you make here is going to have long-term effects on your account, because it is not. None of the stuff you do right here matters. But I'm going to go ahead and extract this. I'm going to do a couple crafts because our goal is to get as close to 70 materials for the extraction as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, anything with speed I'll keep and you're not only chasing speed, by the way, if you're watching this, but that's just the easiest telltale sign for Wyvern gear, whether it's worth keeping or not. I look for speed, and then I look for high rolls past that. I am not someone who harps on equipment score. I don't think equipment score really matters on a piece of gear because there are so many variations that I talk about within that guide. Because you could have an 8% roll here, an 8% roll here, and a 4% roll here. You're able to change one substat on a piece. So if you have an example would be this piece right here. It has 8% HP, 8% effect res with the HP is flat. Flat HP is not great. It's best in slot on like 2 characters. Generally, you want percentage stats on any kind of ring or necklace, but the only way to get past that is if it has high speed, you will be fine with, well, no matter what the substat is. But with this, the only dead stat here is the crit chance. It is high equipment score, but say this was a low roll and this was a low roll, I am able to change one of these stats to a max stat. So if this was to roll high on these current stats that I want, which these 2 would be ideal, then the piece can be saved. So I'm not a big proponent of caring about the initial gear score. I care about the stats that are on it. Okay, gear score is a decent tool you can use, or equipment score, to tell if a piece is good out of the gate. But if you only follow that, there is a good chance you're going to make some mistakes of pieces of gear that could have potentially been usable. Okay, so total, you can click here. So I have 40 something of this. That's going to be fine for now. I'm just going to work with this. So I'm going to go back to the conversions. I'm going to do a ring. And then I'm going to put 49 of these in. I'm going to put whatever left over this. So as you see, I have a 70% chance to get a speed set and a 30% chance to get a crit set. Either one would be fine. I could work with either one on this account. So we got a speed set, but the substats are terrible. It's crit damage, which is good with attack percent. But then I have effectiveness, not really going to match. And it has no speed. Generally, if you have effectiveness with no speed, not going to be usable for you, and it has a minimum percent HP roll. So this piece of gear is terrible. I'm just going to go ahead and extract it back again. But if you do not have any extraction materials, go to your box and you're going to look for your blue boxes. These blue boxes are going to be what you trade in to get your extraction pieces. So if you want speed main stat boots, if you want to do a sword, a chest, or a helmet, these are your pieces. If you want percentage stats for your necklace or rings, you can use these pieces here. So generally, speed set would be the safest thing to take. Just take one of these, go do speed boot speed set. And if you are unsure, just hold on to a piece of gear until later. Okay, so that is the conversion. That's the only mission in here that some people I would assume might have some problem with. Otherwise, just go do each of these things until the complete world boss one time. And I'll meet you back here and I'll see if I can do world boss. I might not be able to do it today. It's all dependent upon the timing of whenever you open this mission. You have to beat it after this opens. But I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so once you have completed all the missions except for the complete world boss, you want to click go next to that, and then you're going to have to see if it's open. Sorry, my green screen's messed up. But into this, you're going to go to your world, or into your guild. You're going to click battlefield, and you're going to check if your world boss is open. If it's not, you have to wait for it to be the timing that you can do it. So with world bots, it's something you want to hit every day. That's something I should have talked about earlier, and I apologize. You all are going to be mad at me that I didn't bring it up sooner. But world bots, you need to hit every single time it's available. I think it's available 6 times a week. You do get blue boxes, which you get conversion materials from that. But at the beginning of the game, you just go in. It's going to take your CP of each character, and then you can take one guest as well. So with the CP, it's just going to go in and give you a score. With that score, you can get really good rewards from this. It's definitely always worth the stamina, even if you're at super low score. You still have a chance to get some decent rewards, but once you get further into the game, this is just a simple daily chore that you do. But with world boss, it's going to take your, again, highest CP units, so just your general builds will end up being fine. As you see here, I got a pet ticket. Not great, but that did finish the challenge. Now, with world boss, you have to beat this 10 times in order to unlock the character that is coming up. Okay, so that is Camila. I am going to go ahead and I need to complete world boss one time. We did that, and then we're going to claim this. We actually got these boots. So from here, what I want to suggest you to do, beat chapter 9, or the full thing of chapter 9. That was that mission there. And we need to clear these batches of missions. Those of you guys may be stuck on world boss. I'm going to go ahead, and this will be the end of the video here. But couple of things that you want to do. Once you get to the end of chapter 9, you are going to be able to click recruit connections, and you're going to have the ability to start working on your Camila once you get to the chapter, or the part unending. So you want to clear all the way up to there, and then I'll go do that in a second. But that's the main thing we want to do. We'll finish the video with talking about that because that's the most important. But the missions are starting to get harder. So with the missions getting harder, You have, again, the ability to go build any character you want. If you got a good ML5 that you want to try out, the ideal character for this is going to be something that has a decent amount of HP, so potentially HP scaling damage dealer, defense scaling damage dealer, or so some sort of survivability within their kit. Or you can take the Destina route, which is what I am going to do. And I'm going to trade them for free Spiriteria going through the story. So I'm going to go ahead and put that boot that we just got on, and we got this gear right here from going through the story. That's gear drop from chapter 3, but we also got that free HP set pieces. So this one's already upgraded, this already upgraded, this already upgraded. So you can do either one, but this way, if you do these, you don't have to spend any charms. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now I have a Destina, which is going to be a great healer. I'm not going to worry about the exclusive equipment for her right now because not all of you will be utilizing her. But okay, I'll talk about it real quick. So the one I would do would be the increased combat readiness. This is the overall most consistent one. So if you do get regen on that, that's fantastic. But that is going to be the new core team going through story. You can go ahead and upgrade these. You have plenty of charms to boost these to plus 15. These are pieces that we got on day 3 login. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to have the maximum Destina that I could possibly have going through the rest of the story. And I'm going to use this team for chapter 3 and chapter 4. So as you see, they gave us an extra almost 2,000. Just those 3 levels on each piece gave us almost 2,000 extra HP, and I don't even have the last awakening on Destina. But going through the story now, my team is going to be, this is the stage you need to beat to start the Camila mission. But I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to take my free Spiriteria out and put in my Destina. And then now, Spectre Tenebra will ramp over time to be able to beat everything. And this is for those of you guys who start with Spectre Tenebra. If you start with Arbiter Vildred, you can try this team. It will probably still work. But getting through chapter 3 and 4 with Arbiter Vildred is a pain in the butt. That's why I always suggest Spectre Tenebra. She just makes this way easier. But this is the core team that we'll be using. That's all I have. I'll be back once I beat this, and we'll talk about Camila and wrap up this episode of the guide. I'll give you a couple extra things you can work on while waiting for the next episode. Okay, so this stage, I forgot how annoying it is. It is, for some reason, the mobs in this stage are very obnoxious. Every time you use a non-attack skill, they're going to get extra abilities and push up and do a bunch of annoying things to you. Anytime you are down to one mob, you can go and start healing. But this is for the end of chapter 3 unending. Just know, I tried to beat it earlier. I looked and my whole team was dead. But try to use as few non-attack skills as you possibly can, and you will be fine. So we're going to go ahead in here. I'm just going to use regular skills right now. My Tamarin is going to end up killing this right here. And I believe it takes your souls away too. So it's like impossible to stock up souls throughout this. So as you see right here, if I use a non-attack skill, it's going to boost up the extra characters, which then they go and boost up each other even more. And they place target and get additional hits. So this stage, it's just the simple mobs are incredibly annoying. So instead of using Brig's skill 2 here, I'm just going to use Brig's skill 1. And then the extra heals from just your skill 1s, especially if you're using the Steam Destina and Tamarin, will keep your team alive. But you just need to try to make sure you kill at least one of those backline units. It's going to help you tremendously. But as you see from not using my non-attack skills, we're almost back to the spot where our team is perfectly healthy getting into the final fight. But I don't know why the stage is like this. If any of you guys had trouble with it, then you know. But some of you guys probably just autoed through it and didn't think about it whatsoever. But the more characters you have with non-attack skills, it's a pain. Okay, I just wanted to talk about this one. But once I kill this, I'm good to just full auto again, and we shouldn't have any issues. So just wanted to bring that up, and I will see you all after I beat the stage, and we'll go into Camila. And also, the boss is the same thing. By the way, I'm going to bring this up. The boss is the same thing when using this team. Is the only fight that I remember that is extremely annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and boost up here, but my goal is to kill those backline characters before I get into any spot where I get too annoyed with everything. So I'm going to boost this up. They're going to, I believe, take souls here with that skill. They do not. Maybe I was wrong on the soul taking, but I'm going to go ahead and go all in on these two at the beginning. I got lucky and hit both of them. We can at least kill one, and we killed both. Okay, if you kill one, it's going to make this fight infinitely easier. So now I can click my non-attack skills. But those little mobs are the most annoying things in the entire game that I've had to fight so far. So once you're through here, I'm just going to auto and it'll beat it. But I know some of you guys will get super frustrated with the stage because I did as well. Okay, once you have beaten the end of chapter 9, you're going to have the Camila side story, and it's going to show the connection is unlocked for her. This is the next most important thing to go for. Some of you guys will already have her. She's just a 3-star character of she's a light character, so you can get her from your Covenant summons. You could also get her from your Moonlight summon. So there's a good chance, again, a lot of you have her. Now, these next missions, if you want to go ahead and do them, you can work ahead of me, go in, do your arena, do your abyss, you can climb all of this stuff. And then here it's complete expedition, complete guild war. That is a mission that you want to get to and do one guild war fight. So this one can be slightly annoying. I will make sure that the next part of the guide, I will clear this right at the beginning of it. For a guild war, doesn't matter if you win or lose, just go in, do your attack. And if you lost, it's a learning experience. The beginning of the game, the PvP of all types, arena, guild war, and live arena. It's going to take you some time to learn. But to finish this episode of the guide, go to your recruit section and go to connections. You're going to have the character in here, Camila now. So with Camila, you have to participate in World Boss 10 times. That is potentially a week of doing World Boss. Okay, every day at first. You can hit it on weekends. I believe you can hit it on weekends as well. So this may take you up to 5 days. If you've done any World Boss up to this point, it is retroactive. It will count. That's why I said some of you guys are going to be mad at me. I should have talked about this sooner. But she is the character that's going to stabilize all of our PvE teams, and there's plenty of stuff you can work on outside of stabilizing PvE teams and clearing story, getting through the game before you unlock this character. I already have her, so I will be able to showcase those teams a little bit early. I don't have to wait for that for the guide, so you guys are worried. You're like, oh, the next part of the guide is going to be a week from now. It will not. Hopefully. But okay, so you want to do all the missions for her. I got a little sidetracked there. The missions overall, that's the only one that's hard. Otherwise, you have to convert items in Alchemist Steeple, and you have to acquire expedition rewards. So you just have to go beat 3 more expeditions, which that is one of the challenges for the next batch of missions anyway. So this auto completes just as you're doing regular missions, but converting items in Alchemist Steeple. So with the Alchemist Steeple, there are multiple things you can do here. You can trade in your greater accessory charms, and to get these, you are going to trade in your equipment extraction. So as we've extracted equipment, you're going to have these charms. This is why I have you extract everything early game, is because you're going to need to trade in for these. So we did that, and then we're going to go ahead and do another batch. Ideally, you save all your speed set stuff, but since I haven't converted too much yet, we don't actually have enough here. So let me go back. 20, I need 17. There we go. Go ahead and convert this. And then I have the next batch, but you have to total do 10 different items. With waiting on her, you have plenty of other stuff you can work on, but just go in, trade in for each type of charm. The only other thing that may work with this is trading in for these modules, which to get these, you have to sell. I don't suggest any new player trying to mess with this just to speed it up. You'll be fine just waiting a little bit. But on here, if you've already traded in for charms, it's even better. Now, with the trading in for charms, you will not have enough extraction materials. What I want you guys to do is go check out my gear crafting guide. Okay, do a 10,000 material crafting with that guide, which is, it's a mixture of doing so many swords, helmets, chest, and then the rings, arms, and boots. You're going to extract everything from that. Whenever you're extracting from that, you are going to be able to then go in and trade in for each of those. And there'll be a total of 8 is what you get for that. So you're going to get 8 this week, then you have to do 2 next week. If you've already traded in for any charms, even better. You're going to be a little bit ahead. But overall, again, I'm making this guide on the fly to the best of my ability. There are things that I'm running into that were impossible to do beforehand, but you guys want the episodes. I'm doing the best I can. I know it's frustrating, but even though the speed made sense, I'm going to go ahead and extract it. But doing a couple batches of these, as you see, this is enough for almost 1 full extraction of the charms. You're going to do multiple batches, but follow the gear guide for that. Link will be in the description. That's all I have for this video. Okay, so work as much toward Camila as you can. I am going to show off the PvE teams in the next episode. If you do have a Camila, you can already work on them. Otherwise, you'll have to come back. But we will have a short portion of showing off how to build all the characters. And then we will come back and continue pushing through everything. So we're going to keep pushing story and getting all of our teams built up. And then once story is done, we'll start working on our PvP section of the guide. The PvP section is going to be a little bit hard. Mostly what I'm doing with that is I have a free-to-play series on another account that was started right when this is. You can see how I go into PvP of both live arena and guild war and regular arena, and see how I climb and do all that. So that'll be the main resource. I'll touch on it the best I can within the guide. But the problem is meta changes all the time. So anytime I've done these in the past, if you go try to follow one of those old guides for the PvP portion, It's completely different. So the characters do not have the same value they did at the time of making it. But that's all I have for this episode. I'll try to clean it up a little bit before next one to the best of my ability. But again, there will be little moments like this that will feel a little bad for some of you that did not get Camila and feel like you have to wait a week. But again, there's plenty of stuff to work on. Go, other things you can work on. Hold on. Continue pushing story. You can go do more Abyss. Go through your Labyrinth, clear all of Labyrinth, get the free charms and rewards from that. It doesn't cost any stamina. Then, whenever you're trying to burn stamina, you can go ahead, do your Book of Memories, Eulogy for a Saint, any side stories that are available in the game. You can do any of that. Next up, you can go to your episode and just farm general catalyst stages. If you want to try to push arena a little bit, you can. You do have the character Death Dealer Ray. Death Dealer Ray will be one of the core characters for pushing in arena. He is one of the best PvP units. The reason I'm having you guys take him is because there are no really good PvE units within that batch of characters, and this will give you the ability to climb arena, have a very good character for both Guild War and live arena if you decide you want to get into that content regularly. So that's all I have for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it took so long, and I will see you all in the next episode. Peace out.